Hello and welcome. Today, I'll walk you through how to securely integrate an Azure Function App with multiple client applications. We'll be focusing on use case, application subscription management. By end of this tutorial, you will have a fully working Azure Function App that allows multiple applications to interact securely. Let's get started. Before we dive into implementation, let's first understand our architecture. At the core of our setup is centralized Azure Function App called Microsoft Subscription Function App. This app hosts three key functions: get user subscription function, retry user subscription detail, check subscription status function, validate the current subscription status, and renew subscription function, handle subscription renewal. To manage access securely, we use three Azure Entra ID app registration. For now, we will create the app registration within single Entra ID tenant. However, in an ideal scenario, they could belong to different tenant or identity provider. Microsoft Provider App is the central API provider that exposes secure endpoints. TCS MS Subscription App and Azure Subscription App are client applications that securely interact with Microsoft Provider App. Go to portal.azure.com and sign in. Open the Function app or search for Function app and click Create. Select your hosting option. I'll keep it as Premium. Choose your resource group. You can create a new or select existing one. Enter Function app name. I'll use Microsoft Subscription Function app. Choose runtime stack. I'll select Node.js. Select a region close to your users. Click Next for storage. Leave default settings. Skip networking. In monitoring, it is recommended to enable application insight. Then move to deployment. Keep deployment as it is and click Next. Apply tags if required. Move for review and create. Review carefully and click Create. Wait for deployment to complete before moving forward. Click on Go to Resources. Scroll down and click on Create Function. Select HTTP trigger. Rename it to Get User Subscription Function. Set authentication level to anonymous. Click Create. In Code Plus Test, modify the response message to include function name and test it. Once successfully tested, let's create second function. I'll navigate back to the function app and create another HTTP trigger function named check subscription status function. I'll set the authentication level to anonymous. Append the function name in Code Plus Test section and test the output to verify it's working perfectly. Next, I'll navigate back again to create a final function. I'll add a new HTTP trigger function named renew subscription function. Set the authentication level to anonymous. Update the response message with the function name in Code Plus Test and run a quick test to confirm it's executing as expected. To securely manage access, we need three app registration in Entra ID. This will allow different client applications to interact with our function app. In app registration, navigate to Authentication. Click on Add Identity Provider. If Microsoft is disabled, refresh the page and choose Microsoft in Identity Provider. Rename this to Microsoft Provider App. Choose 180 days secret expiration. Set unauthenticated request to return 401. Disable token store and add. Navigate to app registration. Now let's quickly create subscriber app registrations and click new registration. Enter the name as TCS MS subscription app and click register. Now that we have registered TCS MS subscription app, let's collect the necessary detail and store them into Notepad for later use. Add the app name TCS MS subscription app, copy the client ID from the app registration and paste it into the Notepad. Navigate to certificate and secret. Click new client secret, set the validity to 180 days and create it. Copy the secret immediately, it won't be visible again. Again, let's quickly create one more subscriber app registration. Navigate to app registration and click new registration. Enter the name as Accenture subscriber app and click register. Again, open the notepad where we stored previous detail. Add the app name Accenture subscription app. Copy the client ID and store it. Navigate to client and secret for this app. Create a new client secret with 180 days validity. Make sure copy the secret as it won't be visible again. Open the Microsoft Subscription Function app. Navigate to Authentication. Click Edit in Identity Provider to configure both subscriber app. Change client application requirement to allow request from specific client application. In allowed client application, add client IDs of TCS MS subscription app and Accenture subscription app. Save the changes. We also would need Microsoft Provider App Client ID soon, so add this into Notepad. Open Postman. Create a new HTTP request and name it to TCS MS Subscription App Token. Navigate to TCS MS Subscription App and from the endpoint, get over 2.0 token v2, append into Postman URL. In body type, to choose XWWW form URL encoded and add grant type client credential, client ID with TCS MS subscription app client ID, client secret with TCS MS subscription app client secret. In scope, include Microsoft Provider App Client ID appending /.default. Click Send to generate token. Now let's securely execute Azure function using Postman. First, let's create a new HTTP request and name it Get User Subscription Function. Navigate to Microsoft Subscription Function app in the Azure portal. Scroll down and open the Get User Subscription function. Get the function URL, then copy the URL against _master. Now switch to Postman and paste this URL into the request. In the header section, we need to add an authentication detail. Set content type as application JSON. Set authorization, and to get the token, copy it from our previous token generation request in Postman and paste it after barrier. Now, let's click Send to execute the function. As you can see, we have successfully received a response. To get a personalized response, let's modify the request body. Select row in the body section and pass a JSON input containing a name. Click Send, and now we can see the response include the name we passed. Now let's duplicate our get user subscription request in Postman. Rename request name and also replace the function name in the URL with check subscription status function. Click Send to execute the request and validate the response. Again, let's duplicate the request in Postman. This time, update the request name and function name to renew subscription function in the URL. Click Send, and now we have successfully executed the renew subscription request. Now let's test our setup using Accenture subscriber credential. First, we'll duplicate our existing token generation request in Postman. Move this request at the end and rename it to Accenture subscription app token. Update the client ID in the request body. Replace it with Accenture's client ID. Also, replace the client secret accordingly. Click Send to generate a new token. Now let's duplicate our get user subscription request. Copy it from our previous token generation request in Postman and paste it after barrier. We have successfully executed the first request. Let's quickly validate the other function as well. Duplicate the request and update the URL to check subscription status function. Click Send and verify the response. Finally, let's duplicate the request once again and update the URL to renew subscription function. Click Send to execute the final test. And that's it. We have now successfully tested our Azure Function App with multiple subscriber applications securely. In this video, we successfully built a secure and scalable Azure Function App that integrate multiple client applications for subscription management. This architecture ensures seamless authentication, secure API access, and efficient execution. Designed for scalability, it can easily be extended to support additional applications, making it a robust solution for secure cloud integration. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thought or question in the comments. See you in the next video.